What's going on, everybody? I am Charles Smith III, the host of the T-Shirt Millionaires live show. And today, I got a special guest for y'all today. I'm talking about super special. Her name is Porsha Oliver. She is the owner and the founder and the CEO and the boss of a brand that is called the T-Shirt Girl. And she has done some amazing things. We're going to walk through her story today, see how she's built up to this big $16,000 month. It's going to be exciting just to, hear her story. And then also I want to go over how she is able to get so much social proof and people to buy into her brand. Because if you look at her Instagram and her website, she has so many people supporting her. So I really look forward to sharing this story. This is going to be extremely inspirational. We look forward to talking with Porsha. We'll be right back. What's going on, everybody? I'm Charles Smith III, the host of the T-Shirt Millionaires live show. And look, Porsha, it looks like you already got some fans in here. So I want you to, be happy about that. You got a friend, husband. She says, hey, sis, so proud of you. We got, I think it's Trinina Lot.
Yeah.
Says, wonderful. So look forward to having you, Porsha. So what I'm going to do is just turn it over to you. Tell the people who you are and what you do.
All right, so what's up, everybody? My name is Porsha, but of course, I'm going by PK. I am the owner of that T-Shirt Girl, but before all of that, I am a mother, I am a teacher, and I am a lover of God. So I am the brain behind the brands that T-Shirt Girl, and I look forward to just sharing my story with each and every one of you so that you guys can get inspired by me and just do. You don't have to want to start a business, but you just do whatever it is that you know that you want to do and you've been holding back.
Absolutely. So y'all already know. Y'all see that type of energy Porsha already brought to the table. She already gave praises where it's due, right? And that's all about helping y'all take things to the next level. So with that being said, Porsha, tell me, let's go back to the beginning. All right. So the T-Shirt Girl, you got it popping right now. You got people wearing your stuff. But how did this whole idea start and when did it start?
Okay, so when I tell this story, I'm like, how can I simplify it, right? Because it's like this whole line of stuff. So I started off doing custom designs, like the typical you see behind me. I got like my silhouette machine. So I started off doing custom designs and, just creating for everybody. So just fast forward, before I actually started a business, like what pushed me to actually starting a business is when I got pregnant, Charles. Like, and it's a story that like now, I don't mind sharing, but it's like when I got pregnant, that's what pushed me into this tunnel vision. Like, hey, at the time I wasn't, I had to stop teaching, and it pushed me in a tunnel vision to say, yo, it's just me and my baby. Like, I didn't care who was around me. I had the support, but I still did not care. So I went tunnel vision. So I started off with a boutique.
Okay.
Started off doing clothes, and it was doing good. Like when I figured out I could make $500 a day, and I'm just selling stuff at the flea market, right?
Right. That's what I was going to ask you. Was it on? So it was all like brick and mortar offline?
Like I was going to the flea market, and I was on Instagram. Like I was posting and stuff on Instagram, not so much of now where it's like content, like doing this. Like I was just posting and doing what I do. But just to fast forward, after I, did like a couple of months passed after I did what I needed to do to get back into my passion of teaching, I didn't really feel the boutique thing anymore, right? So I got into designing. So I designed a t-shirt. That's how I got into print on demand. I knew about print on demand. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. So I kept designing and figuring out that, I do have this creative ability, right? So that's when I just, I got I fast forward, got the machine, started doing shirts. My big first order was for a school for a homecoming. That's when I got into transfer. So honestly, everything that people doing, like transfers, doing a printer with the transfers, like I did that already.
You was on it already.
Like this is like 2015, right? So this is when, people were knowing that, I can make this at home, but they really wasn't knowing. So that's how I got in. So when I started going around, I started feeling everybody's shirt because I'm trying to figure out now. Everybody not going to a screen printer had a screen printer. I'm like, everybody not going to a screen printer getting shirts, right? So I started feeling people's shirts and was like, what's this on your shirt? Figured out it was vinyl. got the machine, got the heat press. But before I got the the machine, I was using transfers. I got the heat press first, right? So everybody, so I got into that and I was just doing custom designs. And as years passed, like, by I started in 2015, I was like, I want to do something else. I had a thing for clutch purses, right? I had a thing for like just lipstick because I'm very simple. So anyway, I started making t-shirts based off how I felt because at the time, I was going through different things, right? So I was making t-shirts based off how I felt. And every time somebody would see me, they'd be like, who made your shirt? And it got to the point where I'm like, me, duh. So everybody knew that I made t-shirts. So fast forward to 2019, I have a picture, and I know I started to send it to you and I forgot. I had a picture where I was sitting and God was like, that t-shirt girl. Like I literally, it was July 2019, and I made the logo in word swag because I wanted to be text based.
Right.
July 2019, Charles. I did not act on it. Like I was like, man, what? I ain't about to do that.
So you had the t-shirt, that t-shirt girl in the front, but you ain't messing with it.
I had that t-shirt girl like literally in July 2019. And that's the picture that I forgot to send you. It was July 2019. I was going through my phone. You probably can't see it.
I see it.
So this right here, July 2nd.
Right.
Right. So listen, I didn't even, I was like, God, quit playing. Like, I'm not about to do that. So fast forward, I found the pandemic hit. So prior to that, I was definitely, I'm a teacher. So I'm busy. Like, this is what I love. Like, I got a tutoring business on the side. Like, I'm doing everything. All teacher. Man, the pandemic hit. One of my best friends at work, she was like, don't come back with like 2 businesses, right? And I was like, girl, nobody about to start no business. Like, I was about to go home and chill because at that time, I really needed a break. Being a teacher, you go through, you just go through different types of emotions and stuff like that. So I went home and it was like April the 10th. I was like, I'm about to start. So I started posting. So I pushed myself. I was like, I'm about to go ahead and push that t-shirt girl. So April the 10th is when I made my first post on Instagram. I said 30 days out. My best friend, she and shout out to her. Shout out to my best friend Brittany. Like she literally was my accountability partner, like all the way through, right?
Right.
So I launched on May 15th. So April
of 2020.
Of 2020.
Okay.
I launched. Like it was, and it's crazy. I never expected to be in the place that I'm at now because I'm like, wait, hold on now. Hold on.
You wouldn't even think you were gonna do it. So I wanna okay. So let's unpack some of this stuff real quick. So you started out with the clothes in the boutique, right? And then you was on some of these creating t-shirt things like before a lot of people even kind of knew about that.
Yep.
So then I remember you talked about doing custom designs for other people.
Mm-hmm.
So how were people reaching out to you when you were doing that? Like, how were they, you know what I'm saying? Were you taking cash out? What was going on at that point in time?
So listen, let me tell you, I was Facebook. Like Instagram, the only thing I used Instagram for was for teaching, right? Because that's my thing. Like honestly, my first shirt that I really sold when I was trying to get niche down was a teacher tee. I bought transfers that said teaching teachers make all other professions possible. That was my first, like, it's still in my head to do that brand, but it just wasn't at the time, right?
Right.
So they was hitting me up on Facebook, right? Like Facebook, and people talk about Big Cartel.
Yep. Ain't that?
Charles, I would make a t-shirt design and I'll create me a Big Cartel within 20 minutes. And guess what? I'm making bank.
You were rocking. You were rocking.
Yo, like people, talk about Big Cartel because, like, honestly, that's why when I talk to, like, when people are trying to get in the business, it's so easy to, like, look in the Instagram world and see everybody doing. And I'm like, yo, you got to do what works for you. Big Cartel, that's what worked for me, and I was still making money.
I love that. I love that. Go ahead. I
was gonna say, so I just try to encourage everybody, like, yo, yeah, it's people out there. Like, you get a coach, you get people that you know you can vibe with and that's gonna teach you, but it's other people out there that try to like down talk on certain things. But that's what made me come up.
Right.
Like Big Cartel, like I literally got stores like had store like shirts on Big Cartel, like 5 products, like people buying from Big Cartel, like I'm getting in from Stripe, but most of my stuff did come from Cash Out though, so I had to.
It's all good. Hey, we start somewhere. That's a fact.
My Cash Out was seeing.
Right, that thing was big.
Yeah.
So I want everybody to catch that though. All right, because Porsha said when she started, she used Big Cartel, and Big Cartel allowed her to get her website up super fast, and she could take payments. You know what I'm saying? What you said, like 20 minutes?
Yeah, I would do it. Look, my logo, I had, of course, I'm like, because I'm designing, so I had a logo, right? So I just find me a store, upload.
Yeah, you good.
Hey, it been times where I done had to upload products from my phone. Like,
hey.
I'm taking shots, right?
Right. That's I love it. But you know what? I think there's an element of people getting started with their businesses and their brands sometimes to where it's so many different obstacles in the way that they never get started. And so having that quick route to at least get started, at least to just prove out the idea. And if you want to do something elaborate later on, then you can go do that after you prove it out. But I just love the speed to market. So I think that's amazing. I love that. So you taking all these Cash App, Big Cartel, you getting these t-shirts off. You mentioned something before that I want to kind of touch on, because this is important when it comes to selling t-shirt design online, and it's design. Okay. Now, you say you started creating design, you like the process, and you realized that you had like a little bit of creativity. Did you know you had creativity before, or was like that the first realization for you?
Nah, I knew in the teacher realm, like, I was able to do certain things, come up with stuff. But honestly, like, and I can give props where props due. Like my son's father was, into stuff like that. So that's a part of how I, tapped into that. So I can give the credit, you know what I'm saying, just to shout that out. Like, yo, when it came to like the like picture taking, like website building, just watching him at the time, it was like, yo, okay, I can do that. So I started on my own. So, designing t-shirt, custom designs was like my thing. Everybody. So this is, listen, when it comes to like that Etsy stuff, and people would like send me stuff on Etsy, and I always had this neck. I was like, yo, I ain't about to copy nothing off Etsy. I can recreate it.
Right.
My own spin to it. So like now, I'm like, man, like why everybody just like straight copying, because I'm giving y'all respect, and I ain't even.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Like I'm turning people around. Like, yo, I can. You can buy the SVG, like, or something like that. But that's when I really like when I started, going into it myself and just learning as I go. I feel I love the fact that I was able to just create and stuff. Like my thing is fonts, right? I like when I create shirts, like when I create any design, I'm looking at the font to see how it feels to the wording, right? When people like, when they say, "Oh, I can't create," I'm not a, just
super wild graphics, like
I'm like a text based. So when people, ask, I can't design, I'm like, listen, go to these fonts. And like whatever message you're trying to put out, you got to get a feel of the font. And that's how I always been. Like my eye for the font. I'm like, what I'm trying to put out there, that's not what, you know what I'm saying? That's not the font that I need to use. So I always had when they send me other designs, I can do that. But like now in the, in the business and with my brand, I'm more text-based. So now I'm trying to create designs based off the font and what I want the customer to feel.
You know what? I think that's really powerful, Porsha, because, there are some people who struggle with designs, right? And you're saying text-based, and it's almost, and I love the fact that you kind of went, you were like, you can put something together, but you can look at it and be like, man, maybe that's not exactly right. So you switch gears. So is it for you? Is it like an internal feeling all the time? It's just kind of like, you let your intuition guide you and be like, okay, this is it. Like even the shirt you created right now, how long did it take you to put that together?
I don't look, you're gonna laugh at this, but I promise I have to pray to God and be like, God, can you just help me remember how I did something? Because it was all God's speed. Like it's like so created this. I did. It probably took me like 2 days because what happens is I have to, if I'm feeling a block, I have to like let it go. Wow. I have to pray and I have to let it go, and then I'm gonna come back. Even when it comes to creating designs for customers, because you know, when the custom realm, they want everything, birthday shirts, they want, you know, they want all that stuff. So I would literally have to pray and come back. So when it came to this, it was like the words had come to me, and it was like worthy, beautiful, intelligent, and on her each. So I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to put that on the shirt? Right. Like, wait. So I prayed about it, thought about it, and I just went to, you know, photo. I think I used Illustrator. I went to Illustrator and just started creating. Right. And so I looked at it, and I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, that's all right. So I came back. So I have people, like I have my cousin. I have people in my circle that, like, hands down, if I send them something, if their reaction not like a, yo, that's tight, I know that I need to go back to the drawing board, because that's the relationship, and that's how I built it, right? So the design probably took me like 2 days, and I was like, okay, I like it, you know, it's cool. Right. So when I looked at it, I wanted the cursive part to like speak, you know, like this is in the sis is in bold, but the cursive, I wanted that to speak and to stand out the words.
I love it. I love it. I love it, y'all. I think that those are some gems that I want you to pick up, because the design is important. I feel like there's a lot of people who have great ideas, but it's just the formatting of how that idea is put on a shirt. You can have the same exact words on 2 different shirts, but one can be formatted better than the other, and that one can sell a lot more than the other, right? So I love that. But then I love the fact, a couple of things that you mentioned. If something doesn't work, you don't force your creativity. You know what I'm saying? You say you stop, you pray, you might take a little rain check, come back to it, right? You switching stuff up on Illustrator. And I think that's important, y'all. I think that forced creativity never works. Nope. And I love the fact that you talked about that. Real quick, I just wanted to mention Mr. C.L. Smith. I appreciate you, champ. Thank you so much. Your gratitude and appreciation is felt through your videos. Stay humble. I truly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting. All right. So let's talk about just a few more things on this design, Porsha. Do you go to any websites and look for fonts at all? Like
what I use, the font DAFON.
There we go.
I use public domain.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because if it's a design, you know, you had that feeling like, okay, it's gonna be dope. You don't need nobody coming back to say, oh, that's my font. So 100% public domain on the like this I use. Like I have, like, people talk about, I think Creative Market 1000. I never went to those sites for real. I just
for sure. No, I love it. So the font is good, and just like Diz my J, you need real people to tell you no, not a bunch of yes men or yes women in this case. So you know, y'all go ahead and take that too. When you create designs, have somebody that you can send it to that'll give you some honest feedback. That's important. So all right, Porsha. All right, so we got into the creating design and all of that. All right, so let's go back to, I think you said June or July 2019. I think that was the date.
June 2019 is when I created that name. Look, let me show you what it was gonna be first, though.
Yeah.
That print girl.
Oh, is that print girl for? Okay.
I was doing custom, but then it was like, nah, like this.
You changed it to that t-shirt girl. Yep.
Second, right?
At that point in time, did you go like set up your Facebook and your Instagram and all that?
No. I remember setting up an Instagram. I thought I set up an Instagram because I tried to go back and search, but I was like, I probably didn't. I probably just like, you know, did this and was like, okay, yeah, that's it. But that's what the ad was for, because it was supposed to be my Instagram name too.
Right.
I like I probably didn't go back and do it. I just kind of, typed it in, did it, and left it alone.
So what made you? So you created it. What made you sit on it for a year?
I just didn't. I didn't. That wasn't at the time. That wasn't my goal. Like because I'm a teacher, and for me being a teacher, I just felt like I couldn't do certain things as a teacher because I had to uphold myself to a certain standard for my students, right? So that was at a particular point. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I was like, I got a passion for teaching. Like, I don't need to be doing nothing else. So I had started my tutoring business, and I was tutoring because that's my passion. So I just left it alone because at the time I'm trying to remember what I was doing July 2019. I think I was transitioning in between jobs, but it just wasn't. I look at it as it wasn't time yet. And like as I go through this journey now, when I did start, it wasn't time. Like God wasn't ready for me to be able to just, I'm still growing, but at that time it wasn't time for me to like jump out there and do, do that brand. So I was like, but I always think like, dang, what if I had started then? And where would I be now?
Yeah.
But it wasn't time. So I just put it down because I felt like I was probably doing too much because, like I said, that was when I was big, on Instagram with my teaching, posting strategies, just doing stuff like that. And I had got to a block, honestly, that year or it was that year, that those months I got to a block where I didn't want to do anything. Like, I didn't want to create. I didn't want to, I had fell off on like the tutoring, like on my page. I had fell off. So it was because I felt like I wasn't being fulfilled. It was like something was missing. Like, I was like, dang, I'm supposed to be doing more. You sit back and like, okay, I got the master's degree. I got the job. I'm good. So it's like, now what? Right. So, those months after July, like I did get to a point where I wasn't, like, I wasn't doing t-shirts. Like, I didn't want to do custom shirts because let me tell you about them custom designs. I can drop a shirt if I wanted to say, oh, I want to make some money this week. I can just put a shirt on Facebook, put some on Facebook. I'm always get it.
Go, yeah.
But it was times where I wanted to give up doing the t-shirt thing because I really just felt like, maybe that's not what I want to do. But it was always like my one friend that would come like with a big order for custom, right? I ain't talking about like I'm talking about like $1,000 order for custom, right? You know what I'm saying? So every time I would think about, like, every time I was like, okay, God, I'm about to just sell this heat press. Like, I'm about to sell this machine. Like, the next day, literally, like, she'll come and want some family reunion shirts or want something for her, like, literally. So that's one thing that kept me afloat without, selling this stuff and, just not doing the t-shirt thing.
Right.
So I guess like somebody just said in a coming season for everything, and it just wasn't my season at the time. So I stayed down. That's why I was telling you, like, I stayed down till it's time for me to come up. So because I was feeling unfulfilled, I still just kept going.
Right. I love that. And again, what I'm hearing from you, just like in the creative aspect, but even with your business, I think you may have even learned this lesson before, or you just kind of know, like, intuitively, like, not forcing things. It's a season, right? Not going hard and, making sure that you're aligned, based on what you're doing. I love that. I think that's like just pure wisdom, right? To save you time, but just save you from a whole bunch of stuff that shouldn't happen if you just go against the grain. So I love it. I think that is great. But then I also think it's dope, like you said, when you thought about selling your stuff, you got these like gentle reminders. These $1,000 reminders, reminders to keep going, keep doing your thing.
Like cash out, like no,
right. I love it. Okay, cool. So, all right. So fast forward to 2020, April 2020. Pandemic is going on. I guess you start moving forward with the brand and with that t-shirt girl. What was some of the first steps that you did when you got the new brand started?
Well, okay, it started in April. And I just started. Okay, first and foremost, I got my why. Like, why that t-shirt girl? You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to just think about what am I about to put into this? Like, what am I putting into this? And what I came up with that, for a long time, just me. And I don't know, and I feel like it's other women that resonate with it for a long time. Like, you play like the underdog, right? So it's kind of almost like you go to school, whether you go to school now, you just become this professional. You do everything that that you need to do. Like, you just this woman, like this great woman, but you always seem to fall short in certain areas, whether it's relationships, whether it's friendships, you fall short. So the brand came to me with thinking about my story and thinking about the things that I have endured, like over the last, couple of years, like, of my life. So I wanted to create a brand to inspire other people, because like now, really during this journey, like I'm learning myself more and more daily, right? So for example, prices, I didn't really think that I was like, I like to talk to people, but I didn't really think that I like to talk to people. But it's like you change your mindset to know that, dang, you really are pretty cool, right? Like, like you really are pretty cool. So the brand was created to just inspire the next women to boss up and actually be who they are. Because when I walked in the shadow, like nothing was working, right? So nothing was working. So I learned over time and over the years to just be who I am, like just to be me, whether it was from, me knowing, okay, I teach, but I still got this passion for, like, I still got a hustle in me. Like my daddy, I got it honest from my dad. Like I always knew how to make a dollar, like burning CDs type of dollar.
Yeah, I know about those times for sure.
Yeah, so it was like,
high school.
Yeah. So the brand was just created, especially for the professional female, like for us, like I'm 30, like my age, to know that it's okay to be in a professional world, but to also be yourself. And I'm talking about uphold yourself to a standard to where like it's cool, like you're not doing any and everything, like you just simply being who you are, right? And so that's whether it's starting another business, on the outside of teaching, whether you're a nurse or teacher, like it is okay to be who you are. So that's what I came to grips with. So that's when that t-shirt girl was, branded to be inspiring for women to know that they are worthy, beautiful, intelligent, and on her ish. Like that was my sophistiratchet part, to be like, hey, it's okay. Be who you are. Boss up. Like let go of that relationship. Like let go of that friendship. Let go of whatever is like stopping you from walking into who you truly are. Because like now, I know I'm walking into who I truly am, because like door after door is opening for me. Like I still have problems, but it's like stuff comes so easy. Like people ask me questions and I really be like, dang, like it's coming. Like I don't have a strategy for this. Like I just do this. You know what I'm saying? And I've been trying to get better at that now. Like just asking God, like, okay, God, you want me to do this? How? What I did? Give me like some order.
I love that. Well, we got a lot of people in the comment. They really resonate with what you're talking about. That mental block up her spiritual creative ability. When you are the light, you can't live in anyone's shadow. S. Perry. And I love what you talked about there about not walking in the shadow, right? And really stepping out and saying, this is who I am, and not hiding, right? You got a light to shine. And when you shine your light, that's helping other people see and helping other people move forward. And if you don't do that, then that impact ain't going to be made. And so I just really love the message. And so, your personality is captivating, life, purpose, and passion. So they picking up what you putting down, sis. They picking up what you putting down. So the part that I love too, right? And I want to make sure everybody caught it. When she got started, and she started, upping up that t-shirt girl, she mentioned about figuring out what is her why for the brand. What is the why? What is the true meaning behind it, right? And I think that because she has clearly stated that and understand what that is, when she speaks to her audience, they respond because that message is there. So I really love that. So with that being said, from that point on, Porsha, how'd you get your first customer, man? Like, what you do to get your first people to buy from you?
So listen, like when I told you I did it for 30 days, like for 30 days straight, like I was in the back end working on my website, but I was also posting on social media. Like if people scroll all the way down, you can see that I didn't start off with like that pink and all that stuff. Like I think I probably had orange, white, but I was using word swag. So this is before I knew that Canva existed. So I'm in there making quotes on word swag and stuff like that, right? So I'm just posting stuff that resonates with me. Like, because my brand, like, is a reflection of me. Like, people talk target audience and stuff, but like, it's really you. It could be you like a couple of months ago. Like, it could be you like a year ago, your target audience, right? But so anyway, to get to my first customer, like Charles, like I posted, I engaged, like I went, people think, oh, let me post and I'm not gonna go, comment on nobody else. I'm not gonna search. No, like I literally will post and I literally go find like people that I knew would resonate with me, right? I started, of course you start out following your family and friends, but I posted and I engaged. So I did that for 30 days and I launched on May 15th. And so on May 15th, I just made one post like on Facebook. But on Instagram, prior to posting, I did 5 days of that t-shirt girl, where the first day I talked about who that t-shirt girl was. The second day, I'm talking about what I had to offer. The third day, I'm talking about, just certain things. On the fifth day, it was like, okay, when can I shop? May 15th. So on May 15th, that is when, I opened up. Then I didn't know what to expect because at the time, I had less than 300 followers. I didn't know what to expect. And even then, I didn't know anything about content. Like, I didn't know anything of that. I'm just being me, right? I'm just being who I am and just engaging on social media. So I made a post on Facebook and I was like, what's up, everybody? Like, I started my t-shirt business, that t-shirt girl, boom. The first day I made $500.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, man. People be trying a whole couple months to get to 500. So you made 500 on the first day.
Yeah, I did. I made $500, and I was like, I'm on my phone, right? Like, I'm over here like, yo, babe, look, people like really my first order. And then what I'm living about, like my circle, like they never let me send them free stuff, right? My cousin was my very first order. Like he spent like $60.
Cuzzo, good stuff, cuzzo. That's what's up. But listen, the more I'm having these conversations, right, I'm seeing like a common thread. And one thing that I'm finding to be extremely important is the organic just outreach or the organic connection that you're making with people before you even started selling. You're going out, you're connecting, you're posting. And then you had like that lead up, right? You talked about who you are and what the brand is, and you led up to it, and people were paying attention to that content, and it was just building up the anticipation when you release. So I think that's extremely important, y'all. And I've heard, we had somebody come to our session and talked about that too, Lamar, just how he does a lot of stuff organically. So I love that. One thing that I also wanted to mention, Porsha, you said when you first started, you didn't have the pink and all that stuff that you do now, the branding, right? Did back then, I guess you didn't have it in your mind to go in that direction. Did that come later on?
Listen, it came, and when it came, it depressed me, right? And I'm gonna tell you why, because like I said, you can get caught up into the social media world. And like my boyfriend was like, yo, you didn't feel this way until you really start engaging on social media and you were seeing everything. He was like, because prior to this, you were posting, right? Prior to this, you were just doing your thing, but now you getting to see what people talking about. You need to have aesthetics. You need to have this. You need to have that. Now you're stressing. Like it had got to a point where I didn't even know what to post because I had let that kind of consume me just a little bit. I finally came out and was like, okay, I know my brand colors already, that's what I started off with anyway. I was like, okay, I know my brand colors. Let me see.
Right.
So if you go down, like I promise you, it's different. It's like white. It may like be like an orange. It's like orange, pinkish. I don't know what it was. Then it's a real, hot pink with black. Then it comes back. Then it go, and now it's like just white, pink, and black now.
Right.
So it changed up a lot, right? So I got into it when I started just looking at my feed. Like I just became obsessed with like, oh, okay, like I can do picture, quote, picture. Like, and I was doing that prior to that. But when it came to like the colors, I was like, I understood that when they talk about aesthetics, they are talking about like you wanted something to pop out to your audience because they're scrolling so much So you need something to catch their eye so that as they're scrolling, they can catch your post each time to where it's gonna become natural for them to want to go to your page and like, let me see what Porsha, that t-shirt girl posted today, right?
Right.
So, it came like that. So I did get into it, but when I did start getting into it, I started feeling myself getting down because I was like, dang, like I was doing it. What they talking about? Like, and me and my best friend, we were talking, she's in a business. She has her business, not t-shirt, but like she said, like athleisure wear. We were talking and we was like, yo, the only difference about this and being on Instagram is that like a lot of stuff we were doing it on our own. We just didn't have a proper name for it.
Right.
Like the business that I started with customs, like I didn't have nobody in my family got a business. Like I went on, like I was on Facebook just selling, but I guess it's because I had the mind, right? Like God, like just telling me like, okay, do this. So when I research more, now I'm beginning to see like, oh, it's a name for that. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So
right. It's like you had the instinct. Like you had the instinct. You might not know the structure way of whatever it is, but you had the instinct to do it. But then I think the big motivation that I caught out of what you talked about is, sometimes like we got a vision and we walk towards something, but we don't really get that much clarity until we just start walking, right? And later on, some of the best ideas for our business or for our brand come now. There might be some stuff, Porsha, you might be doing a year from now that you ain't even think about. You know what I'm saying? Like at this current moment. Yeah. But as you move forward, it's about done is better than perfect. Don't seek perfection all the time, and just let it flow and let it come to you. So I love that. Yeah. All right. So Miss $500, you know what I'm saying? First day coming out the gate. So did you do all that fulfillment on your own? Were you heat pressing at that point in time? How were you fulfilling?
I was a straight vinyl.
Vinyl. So you were doing vinyl. Did that took a long? I heard vinyl. Vinyl takes a while.
Listen, vinyl was therapeutic. It was therapeutic for me, right? Okay. So it was like if I'm having a bad day, like it's like it put me in a zone. Like designing put me in a zone, right? So those two things was just something that kind of like if I had stuff on my mind, like weeding out something, just sitting there, just doing like it made me think, right? So I did vinyl. Like I did vinyl up until I was like, okay, too many shirt orders now. Okay, I can't weed out 60 of these no more.
Yeah.
So I got into a transfers, and I think somebody asked what POD I use. I never used print on demand with this brand, but when I first started out with POD, I used Printful.
Okay, got it. Cool. All right, cool. So you had your therapeutic vinyl and weed and all that. Yeah. And then you moved on because business was booming too much. So then, so that's around April and May. So what happens then? So we get to about mid-year. What happens? What's the next transition? How are you growing? At that point in time, what was your best sales month between the second and third quarter of the year?
Okay, so I started in May.
Yeah.
When I got my first, May, June, maybe like June, July. Okay. Hold on, let me see.
Okay, she pulling up the official numbers.
Because like listen, I'm like, okay, like what was one of the, because I'll live it up. I'm like, okay, this organic, I did what I did. But let me see. I think my highest month during that time, I don't even know the month. I think I can just give you the number.
What's the number?
I think I had did like maybe 2,500. Hold up. Let me see. 2,500 in July.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So couple months, 2,500.
Yep, 2,500 in July. I did that much. And then in June was my largest, Charles. I did $3,600.
Wow. Wow. So April, May, June, you did 36, and then you did like 25 the month after.
Yeah.
Were you so at that point in time, like what were you doing? Cause Porsha, there's some people who wish they could get to a $3,600 month, the second month that they end up, doing what they do. So what were you doing? Were you kind of just still connecting, going live, posting? What were you doing as far as marketing?
I was connecting, going live, and of course, those are the summer months, so I had time.
Yeah.
I honestly was connecting, and I was building. I built my email list from day one. Like I built my email list from day one. So I just really was connecting on just using social media for what it was for. Social. Like a lot of people, get on social media, they post their business and thinking that like, oh, I'm about to kill it. No, people don't know you exist.
Yeah. No, I love that. There's no awareness about the brand.
Yeah, so you go and comment. So you go and just engage, engage, and that's what I was doing. I wish I had better words to put for the audience, but I really just engaged. Like those months, from April when I started, I built my vision. And then I just started, and I was just engaged and posting. I think I started off posting like, I don't know what I was doing, but I do know I was engaged and going live. I did, I think when I hit 300 followers, I did a giveaway to build the email list, not even knowing that, those are strategic ways. 500 follower, you know what I'm saying? I was doing the 25 comment challenge though. I forgot, I failed to mention that. Like I honestly, because initially, Charles, when I started, I wanted to just come into the game teaching people how to start t-shirt business. Like I really, when trying to build a brand for real. So the first coach that I actually invested in was Cece, the six-figure chick.
Yeah. R.I.P. R.I.P. Beautiful soul. Yeah.
That hurt me, because that was the first, because you can get stubborn, because I'm like, I've been doing this for a minute. Like, I don't really need nobody telling me what to do. So she was the first person that I invested in. So I started doing her 25 comment challenge because I actually had got into her group maybe March, April. And so I did the 25 comment challenge ×2, meaning I was commenting, I probably surpassed 25, but I was commenting on stuff that, on people pages and hashtags that was relevant to my brand. Like I just wasn't going to random pages or anything like that. So I was just connecting with my audience and just building and posting, and it was just
That's amazing. So you said so many different gems in there, and definitely rest in peace, six-figure chick. She was definitely amazing. I invested in some of her courses while she was with us, and just shared a wealth of knowledge. It's a blessing to have people share their gifts and be able to help others, and she definitely did that for me. Now, one thing you talked about, you collected email lists or emails without even knowing, right? So that's probably one of the wisest things, right? Without even knowing it, you went ahead and did that. What were you doing? Did you have a pop-up? Did you have some type of app? Like, what were you doing to collect emails?
Well, at the time, when I got emails prior to me launching was because when I started my Shopify store, of course you disable it, but it gives you the opportunity to, have that piece up there to where coming soon, and enter your email for whatever catchy thing that you want. And so I did that, and at the time I was using MailChimp, and so they were just going. So when I dropped, an email to them, letting them know it's live, use this code, to get this shirt, things like that. So when I say I was building an email list, I didn't even know the importance of an email list until, further down the line. But just having that piece on my website on the back end and just knowing how stuff worked, I let them put an email because I knew that I wanted to email them to let them know, yo, I'm about to get ready to lunch. And then moving forward, I was going to email them. So, yeah.
Right. Well, that's extremely valuable. And for everybody, in the group, right, or in listening to the interview, collecting emails and information about your customers is important, right? It's you want to get to a place to where you can own that relationship. And, instinctively, just like everything else Porsha talked about, she got that early. So June, July, you did great. Let's walk further through that story. So at that point in time, you got 30 some, 3,000 some, 2,500 some. what happens after that? What are you doing to continue build throughout the rest of the year?
I'm still building, and then I hit September. September was like, all right, now you've been doing that t-shirt, girl, for too long. It's time to go back to work, to the building. So because like because teaching, like I said, I love my kids. I love teaching. I take that to a higher standard. Right. So I had something because I couldn't balance, and I think at the time I didn't have a mindset. I was like, I'm not gonna try to balance because teaching is more important. Mm-hmm. I had $842 that month.
Oh, in September. Oh, so you went down.
I went down. Mm-hmm. So just imagine May, June, July, August, boom, September.
Right. Just dropped off. How did that feel for you? All right, because I can understand when you took that dip in your revenue. How was that for you? What did that do? How were you thinking about that at that point in time?
I think I had already knew why. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because I was building organically, and because I wasn't like putting myself out there at the time, I just knew. So it was like, okay, dang, I gotta go harder in August. Like I need to, try to find and maintain, like, get balance so that I can, get some type of balance so that I can do better come August. Yeah. So it was like I think I had prepared for it, to be honest, because I knew that going back to teach, I wasn't gonna have the time that I had to actually, engage and do different types of stuff. So
okay.
Yeah.
Understood. I got it. So making a transition, revenue ended up dropping off, but you knew why. You knew the reasons why. Mm-hmm. So how did you ended up rebounding? What happened, moving forward? Because that right there, that's third quarter, right? So you start going in the fourth quarter. What you start doing at that point in time?
All right. So I started to, try to make sure that whatever I was doing prior to that, I kept it going. But I tried, I made time, right? Mm-hmm. So that was September. It was like the 842. Then come August, I made, not August, but come October. October was the month where I killed, I was still organically engaging, but now I was like, okay, now it's time for me to invest, because I can be stubborn and say I think I know everything, because the businesses that I had, I didn't have help. But you happen, right? You happen. So, I can recall, like, Charles, I promise you, I was literally sitting in my closet because, that's when the virtual teaching, so I had to make my space. And it was like in the wee hours of the morning. Yo, I prayed on it because I had found you, but I didn't follow you. I was just, I was like, okay, let me see what he got, but I didn't follow. And so I prayed on him because I really wanted to ask you a question. But, sometimes you can write people in their DM and they can be like really rude, right? Mm-hmm. So I had to pray on it. Yo, you followed me. Like, y'all watching. God, like, he literally followed me. Like that morning, I was up, and I opened, like, when I got done doing what I was doing, I opened my phone. I was like, T-shirt Millionaires follow me. Yo, wait. Okay, God, if this your sign, I'm about to jump on it. And so that's when I wrote you. And, like, just hands down, like, you were just genuine. And, like, you even went through my page and just was like, yo, like, you pretty much straight. Like, I had a couple of questions at the, I forgot the questions. That's why I screenshot the message. But, like, you really went through my brain and was like, yo, you straight for real. Like, right. Like, you good. So you happen because, like, because of your, like, that, and I think this was prior to October because I was waiting on your mastermind, right? So that's when I was able to get into your mastermind in October because I was waiting. And look, I was waiting on your price. So I'm over here like, dang, like, I know it's gonna cost. He won't tell me because I'm kind of like prepared. Like, this man won't tell me. And when you finally told me, I was like, dang. I was like, I don't know. So I started thinking. I was like, dang, what I'm going to do? I'm like, the price of it. I was like, dang. So I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm about to pay him out of my money, right? Like my my personal, like, I'm about to pay him, and I'm just gonna believe God gonna make it for my business by the end of the month. And guess what? I made the next payment by the end of the month. I was struggling, y'all. Like, you see the money that people making in sales, but you gotta keep it. So when he hit me with that price, I was like, I had to go to my boyfriend. I was like, okay, so when we add and subtract this, what parts you gonna take?
Right.
I'm asking him, like, okay, so I called him like, yo, if you love me, like, can you invest in me? Like, I'm like, if you can, you can invest, but I definitely like bet it on myself and just knew that you was gonna add value because like you were just all around genuine, right? So I already knew, like, from your vibe, I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to pay him because I already know, like, he's gonna add value to me in some type of way. So you were like the first coach, like I said, I invested in. It was, like the membership, but you were literally like the first, and it's probably gonna be the only person that I invest in when it comes to like wanting to learn more and get knowledge about it. So once I got into your mastermind and just follow the things that you did, it was only up from there.
Well, that's amazing. So I remember this. I remember vividly. I remember because I don't know how I found you. I don't know if he came on Explore or somebody else followed you or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? I saw that you was in the space. And then I remember you saying, it was something about you just saw the page or something like that, right? It was excitement. So I can appreciate that. But I just remember going through and just looking at your Instagram profile, probably even before I followed. And I was like, the aesthetic, everything was good. I'm guessing at that point in time, you was probably doing the pink stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was put together well. You had great content. And to this day, you have amazing content. Like, everybody watching, I want y'all to check out her Instagram page. Like, her content is great. It's put together well. It's clean. It looks good. And so from there, you know what I'm saying? I just gave you that good feedback. But I remember when we had our enrollment call and how you talked about it. And you was like, I'm going to figure it out. And, fast forward to however many months, like, you doing the thing. So let's move forward. All right. So you enroll, you in the mastermind. And I guess at that point in time, is that when you learn ads or you started doing ads? What's going on with that?
I was about to forget this. I ran an ad. I was running ads I ran an ad in June or July, I think. But I didn't know what was, because I think I showed you, I made a couple of dollars from them, but I cut them off because I was like, nah.
Right.
I started in like June. I think it was like June. I think it was July, June or July. Like, I started on my own. And I was just like, okay, I got the organic part, but let me see what these ads talking about. I keep seeing Charles talking about, I keep seeing, because I was stalking you. Like, and people, like, listen, I was stalking and seeing people that was already in your mastermind. Like, I'm trying to, stalk them. Like, just trying to catch up on it. And just see. So I started on my own, but I really didn't know. Like, that's one of the times where I was like, okay, Porsha, like, you can't be stubborn because that's an arena that you don't know. And so you really need to find somebody that you can't just go investing in everybody. Like, a lot of people, and it's kudos to anybody that's coaching, like, even me trying to get into the space. But when you're a business owner, like, you can't just like fall for the first thing, yo. Like, you got to get somebody that's going to resonate with you, right?
Right. Absolutely. So I love that. And so with that being said, Porsha, you ran your ad back in, I guess, June or July.
Yeah, one of
them. So when you started running ads, was it intimidating at all? Because I know a lot of people walk into it and be like, this is a lot to learn. Like, was it intimidating? Did you get it fast? Like, how was your process when you started running ads?
It wasn't intimidating me because, shoot, I know I put $5 on something quick.
Hey, that's what's up.
Hey, I was my first ad was running hot at $5. Like,
right, and it was booming too.
Yes. Somebody said commercial break coming.
hey, yeah, we got one coming in a minute. We gonna represent in a minute, but so I love that because you went in, you got in, you said you did like $5. And one thing about Porsha, y'all, like Porsha will come back and she'll run her ads and she'll be like, is this doing good? Is this ad doing good? We have our meetings and we go through and we look at the numbers, and her numbers is always off the chart. I'm talking about there's something when you run ads, you have to pay attention to return on ad spend. And we be looking at Porsha number like, girl, if you don't keep that thing running, put some more at that. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm keep it 5. Like,
Yeah.
because it was like, I need to start, like, that's what I said. I need to start paying more attention for real, because I'm like, okay, it's doing it, whatever. But those $5, I knew I wasn't losing.
I like that. I like that.
$5, like, people ask questions like, I'm about to put $100. Start off with what you're comfortable with and then go from there. Like, don't be trying, don't be listening, like you just starting out on ads and you want to already put that amount. Like, start off. Like, for me, I don't care. $5. That's what I told you. Like, I'm gonna use $5. Like, period.
Right. No, so I love that, y'all. And I think that's golden advice for anybody who has never ran, or maybe you're like at the very beginning stages. Porsha said you don't got to go blow the bank at the very beginning. She started with $5. Those $5 generated sales, right? And then she started increasing and growing from there. So was it hard for you? So when you started spending more than the $5, Porsha, was it hard for you mentally to make that transition? Yeah. Was it just kind of like a jump? Yeah, talk to me about that.
It was hard because when we was in the mastermind, you was like, hey, you need to put $50 on there. I don't want to, I don't want to hear, like, just do it. I'm like, $50. Like, hold up now. I'm scratching my head and I'm like, okay, $50. Like, okay, whatever, like 50. So it was a mental, but you have to get your mind right for you. You have to change your mindset, right? So it's a mindset thing. When I was doing the $5, it was the mindset, because like I really wasn't betting on myself, to be honest. Like, I wasn't like, treat my brand as if like, girl, your brand go pop like when you pop out those ads. So it's all about just, really not underestimating your brand.
Absolutely.
You can't underestimate what you're putting out there, especially if if you got the social proof, or knowing like your brand. Like, you can't underestimate it, because when you underestimate it, like, it'll show you. So so I did the $5, but I had to change my mindset when it came to the ads and just running the ads and just believing in my brand, because it's like, okay, well, they go see the shirt. Oh, but I do have social media that's gonna bag it up, right? You see what I'm saying? Website, then you got the social that can bag it up, so you have everything in place. So it was just a mindset change for me, and I did change my mindset. I went up, Now I'm stuck at the 50.
Right.
Run it up, yeah.
Right. Well, you said something great. You just said that people will see the shirt, but you have the social proof. You have the Instagram and the social media. You got the website to back up what you have created and what they're seeing in that initial ad. And so I think that's important for everybody, to make sure you have all those ducks in a row, to make sure that you can really capitalize when you run them. And I think that's super strong. Now, one thing that I tell you about you, Porsha, you do extremely well when it comes to getting customer pictures. How do you do this? Like, you got so many people wearing your stuff and you use it for your social media. Like, how you do that? What's your strategy?
Like, honestly, like, when I did like my little cards, I just tell them like, yo, tag that t-shirt girl. And I think when they started seeing me, because in the earlier stages, like, my cousin buying for me, like, my first customers with the pictures, those were my first customers. Like, if you go down my feed, when I first started posting customer photos, those were my first customers. So I think because as I built it up and was posting what I had, that's what brought the social proof. That's what brought people just automatically wanting to send me pictures. Like, they send me pictures now, I can't even keep up. Like
Right.
now I find myself like going through like tags or having to swoop through DMs because I can't keep up. So I think it's just, what you set the standard for in your business. So in the beginning with little followers, like I still posted my customer, and that's just something that I did. And I think that, if they shot me a DM, I was like, shoot me a picture. And but on the little cards, I just tell them like, tag. Now this, the new cards, I say, hey, if you send your selfie to a particular keyword, you will enter into a monthly giveaway. Text the they have to text this keyword so that they'll be able to, enter into the giveaway. So I think it's just something that I over time, like I just built that relationship with those customers to see that, okay, like she gonna get the picture and she gonna post it. And I guess they just want to be on there, but I really appreciate it. And so I guess I didn't start calling them my best friends until later on, right? So I guess that too, doing that. So it's pretty much just overall, like people that's watching, because I know the time winding down. Like when you start your business, like just be yourself, right? Like I think that's the driving. Well, I know that's a driving force for me. Like although I'm being myself, and a lot of stuff that I'm doing is outside of what I normally do, but that's coming from me growing and learning myself, like seeing the different types of stuff. Like, oh, okay, like you're really good at that. Like, zone in on it. So when you're building your brand, like be yourself and don't, I had this tunnel vision to where I didn't look to the left or look to the right. And people take that in a certain type of way. Like, you're supposed to know what your competition doing. Yeah, to a certain extent. Like, because if you look too much to the left and too much to the right, like you're gonna lose focus on where you're going. And I know for me, I know that when I do that, I'm gonna get stumped. So I had to, position myself to be in tunnel vision to just kind of, focus in on what I had going on. And if it is somebody, like even with getting mastermind, like, knowing that it's collaboration over competition, you know what I'm saying? Like you can see what other brands are doing, get inspired, but you have to also have that tunnel vision for yourself and your business and just know that, know what you're wanting to do.
Amazing. That's amazing. No, I love that. Y'all, she dropped a whole bunch of gems on us. I think that, you got like wisdom beyond Porsha. I think that is amazing. So I know that we've been going about an hour now.
Yeah.
for anybody out there who is at the very beginning stages, right? Somebody that's just starting up, what type of advice, would you give somebody who's just moving forward and trying to start a brand?
Do it.
Do it.
A lot of people that I've come in contact with that have not started their brand is because they're afraid, right? They're afraid to put them, they're afraid to just start. They're looking for validation for one, validation from the wrong people, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you telling people I want to start a t-shirt brand, they probably telling you like, for what? Everybody sells t-shirts.
Right.
No, just do it, like, because honestly, what I tell, and I say this all the time on my other, like all the time, if God puts something in you and you don't act on the right thing, it's not that he gonna take it away, but he gonna give it to somebody else and he gonna make you go the long way. It's about that. Like he gonna make you go the long way around to get to that point. And I think that's what happened with me because I wasn't obedient. So when I did do that t-shirt girl in 2019, when I was supposed to act on the right thing, he took me around the way. It took me through times where, I felt like I wasn't, being fulfilled by what I was doing. So I just tell people, like, if it's within you, like, act on it, whether it's creating a social media page, making a post, like, whatever it is, like, just do it and stop holding back and stop seeking validation from people that sometimes don't even have a business. Like, that's between you and God. Right. Like, he honestly, within this brand, like, each step of the way, like, Charles, I kid you not, like, it's God. Like, straight God. Like, I can't even begin to just, it's God. So when people ask me, well, how you do this? Like, you just started in May. I did. But every step of the way, like, I pray. Like, I prayed before I got on here. Like, it's just certain things that people got to tap into when it comes to, like, you being yourself. Like, your spiritual stuff. And I have learned so much. Like the pandemic, let me tell you about the pandemic. I think about this all the time because I was like, dang, like I was supposed to be kind of scared, but it was like I wasn't. Like it was like I was fearless, right? And so that's how I was able to get my brand and start my brand, because I was like, you know what? I'm about to do it. Like I'm about to do this. Like I don't even care. Like I don't even know the next step. Like I didn't even know what was next. Like I did not know that I would get to a point where here it is, you know, about to be May again. And I've built, like I get every day, Charles, like when I get orders, when I get comments, I like right now I'm getting emotional because I'm like, yo, why they like me?
They loving you in these comments.
Like I'm just being myself. So it's like I'm very humble, like, you know, humble to the fact like all this stuff that I got, it can be taken away, but I just be myself. Like I just be straight up. Like it just be me. So anybody that's starting a t-shirt brand, like you probably started and got stuck, like pick it back up. Because if it's in you, I couldn't go to sleep. Like before, at night it will be on my mind to start this t-shirt brand, to sell t-shirts and clutch purses, right? It was always on my mind. I couldn't stop thinking about it. So if it's something that you can't stop thinking about, like just do it. Right? Like that's all I can honestly say. Like do it. Like stop seeking validation and just do what what God put inside of you to do, and He will make the next step. Like He will give you the next step if you just do. But if you just sit on it, you gonna see somebody else. You may see somebody else with the very design that you said that you wanted to do.
Lord have mercy.
You mad.
Lord have mercy. You be like, what did I do? What did I do? I'm sitting here. Yeah, boy.
Like you can't. Like you know, because you didn't jump on it, right? You didn't jump on it the way that you were supposed to. So it doesn't have to be where you jump out there to just have this business. Like it's literally just, you it's just literally you doing you, like doing what you need to do to get to the next step. So God may be telling you, come up with the name. You may come up with the name today. Next week, He may provide with something else, So
Right. No, you girl, you wise. You like, you got like you on this camera preaching and all that type of stuff. Like everybody in here, they loving it. They talking about don't sleep on the idea, and I just think that it's extremely, extremely inspirational. From your just perspective, Porsha, like the way that you talk, the way that you speak, the way that you went through this journey in such a short period of time, doing what you're doing. I think that is just pure gems, and I can't thank you enough for sharing with us and for sharing with the audience. So I ain't gonna hold you too much long. I know you had a lot going on before we got here. I know, you know what I'm saying? You got a little one in the background. You know what I'm saying?
Sign language. She's talking about.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's so silly over there.
Hey, I'm sure. Hey, I'm sure. So I don't even so she got mama duty, y'all. So I'm not gonna hold it anymore. But Porsha, let everybody know where they can find you at.
You can follow me on my brand page, at that _t-shirt girl. And if you are out there and you're wanting to start your brand, or if you have a brand and you're stuck, you can follow me at t-shirt besties. And if you shoot me a DM, that's cool. I'll get to it. And also, those of you that follow at t-shirt besties, if you hit the link, it's a free webinar. Listen, the webinar is not this whole, business. It's like a conversation that I'm having. So it's a free webinar, so you can watch it to see what I'm saying. And if you're my customer, y'all, I'm working. It's only me. Like, look, y'all, I promise you I'm coming with your orders. Like, I'm not holding back. If you're my customer, and I love y'all to death, I really do. And I appreciate each and every one of you that rock with me and my brand.
That's love. So Porsha, I appreciate you. Everybody, this is my little sis. It's a little sis into a few people in our mastermind group, and we appreciate you, lady. We thank you so much. Keep building, keep inspiring. You're gonna be out there teaching, showing people the way, and I wish you many blessings on your journey. All right.
All right. See y'all later.
All right, family. We'll talk later on. All right, cool. Yeah, t-shirt bestie. Yeah, that t-shirt girl, man. Listen, man, I love Porsha's story. I love her energy. I love, you know what I'm saying, how she's put together a great brand. Like I said, if y'all haven't went to her Instagram, just check out her Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Check out her website. See what she's done. You know what I'm saying? Like, she has put together a great brand. And like she said, she's connected with her customers. She calls them besties. She has people buying from her. We didn't even get in this conversation, but she told me about this thing she does as far as send out text message, right? And the sales that are generated from that. You know what I'm saying? This lady, she went from, had her lowest month of about $800 to like a $16,000 month, right? But even bigger than that, she's doing something that aligns with her. She's walking in her truth, right? She's built a brand that has a reason why. And then the aesthetic is just all icing on the cake. So y'all make sure y'all go follow her. T-shirt besties, that t-shirt girl. She does some amazing things. And for people who are at the very beginning stages, take that story, use it as fuel, and run with your dream and run with your idea, man. I truly appreciate every single person that watches this show. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. I can't say it enough. I'm going to continue bringing the best people, the best brands, the best minds, the best manufacturers, suppliers to help us grow and help our take our t-shirt brands to the next level. If you can just do me a favor, as I always say, like, share it, put it in a group, send it in the emails. Let's spread it around so we can get more people informed about how to grow their brands. And as y'all keep doing that, I promise you, I'm going to stay in my job and keep doing this and bring people to the show and adding value to your lives. With that being said, y'all, I'm about to close this out. I truly appreciate it. As I always say, if you can see it in your mind's eye, one day you're going to be able to see it with your realize it's going to come into reality. Peace, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. I'll catch y'all on the next episode.